just looked at the guy who was kind enough to stop sucking her face for a moment. And I said to him, "You do know she's in a relationship with my son."
Hey, I'm on the wonderful world of TikTok. I've just been skimming and I managed to find a interesting creator. I don't know if this is real or not, but she's pretty entertaining. Let me show you.
Reaction by feeding my homemade banana bread to his mistress. And you know what? I'm not even sorry. 2 weeks ago, I came home from work early. Now, I didn't bother to let my husband know because, to be honest, I didn't expect him home. I didn't expect anybody home. My plan was to have a bath, not tell anyone that I'd come home from work early, just relax for an hour, and then my husband would get home. What actually happened was I turned up home to find my husband and our friend in the kitchen just laughing. Now, there wasn't too much to be suspicious about at first. They were both fully dressed. There was nothing untoward going on that I could see. And when I arrived, my friend's facial expression didn't change. She seemed very happy to see me. She threw her arms around me, cuddled me, and spent the next few hours talking to me. So,
Okay, just to interject here. Nothing wrong with her story. It's cool. But the way she's telling that story, her accent, it's lovely. It's lovely. Like, I've heard some British accents before and they're annoying as hell. And it's usually Caucasian women that are that annoying to me. Sorry if it seems a little racist, but still, she sounds heavenly. She sounds like a joy to listen to.
everything seemed fine. It was only once she left that I kind of internally started to question how long she had been there and what were they laughing about. Because when I walked into the kitchen, I wasn't involved in the conversation. Nobody included me in the joke. We just started our own conversation. So it was playing on my mind a little bit. And then last week, my husband told me he needed to work late. This is not a regular occurrence. My husband never works late and doesn't really have the kind of job where you would need to work late. So it made no sense. I didn't question it. And then at the beginning of this week, my husband worked late. Again, I had my internal questions, but I said nothing. I need to reiterate that my husband's job is not the sort of job where you would need to work late. It's the kind of job where you finish at 5 o'clock and you forget about work. You don't need to think about it until you're there the next day. Is that kind of job, you know? So he calls me yesterday about lunchtime to let me know that he needs to work late. And I said, okay. And I don't know what came over me, but I had a plan. I had a terrible, terrible plan. My husband is highly allergic to bananas. So I went and bought some bananas. I made banana bread. And then I let my friend know that I was going to be dropping some banana bread round. And she was happy. Of course, who doesn't want homemade banana bread other than my husband? There's no way that he's going to come home and have a reaction in our house. I was on my hands and knees scrubbing that kitchen. It was sparkling. There were no remnants of banana in that kitchen. So I drop the banana bread round to my friend's house. And I leave. I get a call about 4 hours later. My husband had an extremely dangerous allergic reaction to bananas.
Now she says she doesn't know what came over her. We know. I mean, Devil Dick does that to you, right? What can you say? Dude's probably doing. He's probably putting it down if she has to go through all of this. Because sometimes when you touch that right spot, it's that's what triggers it. It's a gift and a curse.
I make my way to the hospital. And when I get there, the doctor starts to question me on, his allergies, what we have in the house, this, that, the other. In front of my husband, I say, "Doctor, I don't know how this has happened. the only thing he's allergic to is bananas. And yes, I did make banana bread today, but I
Bananas.
swiftly blitzed our kitchen. And that aside, he's not even been home yet, Doctor. You see, I made this banana bread for our friend and I dropped it round there earlier, and then this is the point when I turn to look at my husband. And I say, and I have no idea how it could transfer from her to him. How could that happen? It's safe to say that he knew exactly where I stood at that point. I didn't say another word. I turned on my heel and I left the room. And on my way out of the hospital, who walks in? We are literally walking directly towards each other. The friend. See, I'm not normally the revenge type of girl. I'm normally the cut you out of my life, I will never have a need to see you again kind of girl. But obviously, I was in a relationship with him, so it was quite important that I did get my revenge. But her, I had nothing to say. So as we're walking towards each other, she calls me. She calls me to get my attention, to say hello, and to ask how he's doing. I look at her, and I tell her he's allergic to bananas. I'm surprised you didn't know. In fact, you should probably clean your teeth and wash your hands before you go up to see him. Clearly, they think I'm stupid. Clearly, they think I would never catch on to what they were doing. But I did catch on. And nearly killed him. I gave my husband an...
Now, I don't know if I believe this really happened, but I mean, if she questioned me like that, with that tone mixed with toxic intention, it just, oh my, triggered a little something in me there, right? Like, it'll trigger that little bit of toxin within you. He's toxic, she's toxic. They're great for each other. Might as well keep them together so they don't destroy other people's lives. But anyways, this woman seems to she seems to have this as her thing. This is her thing right now. She does these. It seems like she does these stories regularly, and this is why I don't really believe that she's for real. Because like, there's a lot of toxic stories. Either they're all like a part of a bigger story, or she lives a very toxic life. Here's the one I'm looking for right here.
My son is 18 and he's been with his girlfriend for 2 months now. It's his first proper relationship, and when I tell you that he...
Also, I'd like to let you know that I haven't watched this one yet. So this is new to me. I want to see where this goes.
He is besotted. I mean it. Absolutely head over heels, rose-coloured glasses, the lot. Now, I always imagined meeting my son's first girlfriend. I wanted to love her. I wanted her to feel like the family, like a daughter I've never had. I've never wanted to be one of those typical boy mums who sees the girlfriend as a threat. I wanted us to be friends. I really wanted to like her. We don't always get what we want, do we? Because my son, my beautiful, kind son, has fallen for the devil. She's polite when he's around, of course. But when he's not, she makes subtle digs. Nothing outright cruel, but enough to chip away at me. For example, she once told me and my husband, not in earshot of my son, that she's had to reteach him things because he's never had a proper woman in his life to teach him. Things like how to use the washing machine. My son has been using the washing machine since he was 15 years old. And you know who taught him? Me. I taught him these things. I taught him how to cook. I taught him how to look after himself because I wanted him to be an independent man. I wanted him...
See, this sounds very familiar. This sounds like, if this was serious, this sounds like the type of girl that is very my way, highway type of deal. And tries to erase the mother's existence in some sort of way, thinking that he is a mama's boy. She has, like, this girl has come into his life, already labeled him as a mama's boy, never once took him seriously, and still doesn't take him seriously. She can't take him serious enough to listen to him when he tells her he already knows this stuff, because she's just trying to assert dominance by, like, reteaching. This is what people with those narc traits do. But yeah, let's get on with it.
Him to be able to look after his wife one day. I taught him that, but apparently not well enough. So fast forward to the other day. I'm leaving my Pilates class. I pop into Costa on my way out, and who do I see? She's in there, snogging the face off of another man. I froze.
Blimey.
On one hand, my heart broke for my son. He adores this girl, and he's about to be crushed. But on the other hand, I could have skipped out of Costa, knowing that this was her one-way ticket out of my family. So I walked up to her. I didn't cause a scene. I just looked at the guy who was kind enough to stop sucking her face for a moment. And I said to him, "You do know she's in a relationship with my son." And then I just walked out. Simple, done. She knows she's been caught. On my way home, I stop off to pick up my son's favourite dinner.
Oh my God. The way she said that. She told him, you know that she's in a relationship with my son, and then turns around and walks away. That's like when the commercial break comes in, and then the music, dun dun dun. That's what that sounds like.
I know he's about to have his heart broken, and I just wanted to soften the blow in any way that I can. So I get home and I start cooking, and then I hear the door go. He walks into the kitchen, hand in hand with her. I was shaking with anger. I looked at her. "What the hell are you doing here?" He looks confused. He tells me, "Mum, she's staying for dinner." And before I can even react, she chimes in with, "That's okay, isn't it?" No, that's not okay. So I tell him everything right there in front of her. And let me tell you how that went. 2 hours later, I am now here sitting on my own in my kitchen because my son has packed a bag to go and stay with her for a while, because she has persuaded him that I've made this whole thing up. I've spent the last few hours spiraling. How can I prove it to him? I've thought about trying to get her on video saying it, get some kind of proof of the way she acts when he's not around. But honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to get that opportunity. I don't think I'm ever going to be on my own.
Probably should have done that the first time.
She knows I've seen her, and she's not stupid. So what do? How do I get my son to believe me before she completely turns him against me? Before there's no going back. My son...
Interesting. And you see what I'm talking about. Riveting. Absolutely, yeah. It's if your son is dating someone you don't like, you catch her kissing another dude, I would think the first thing you would do is, like, video. But that's nice. It was a nice story. Very entertaining. You can tell me in the comments what else could she have done during that, because that's quite a story, right? Don't forget, like and subscribe.